scale from 1 to 5, 6.
What's up? What it is? What it do? How I would be? How y'all living? It's your boy. I don't see the place to be. Live in full effect on this Friday. How y'all been? How y'all doing? All right. Let's get right into it. Shout out to Herb. Dunbar Poets won the championship that they were in. So shout out to Coach Herb, friend of the show, CEO of Sideline Talk, founder of Sideline Talk. So shout out to him and coaching them boys up, man. I proud of you. Also, Coach Tay, shout out to him and Coach. I'm sorry, not Coach, but John, Coach Javier. Anybody that I've crossed paths with that coach, man, I appreciate you guys taking your time out to help, the future players. I know that y'all are stand-up men and y'all showing these boys more than football. Y'all showing them life, and that as much as appreciated for all that you do, fellas. And again, shout out to my Sideline Talk family, Herb, Tay, and John, man. All right, let's get into it. We had football last night. The Atlanta Falcons was down 14 points in the fourth quarter, and they were able to make that comeback to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 29-28. We look at the leaders from yesterday. Kirk Cousins had 373 yards and 3 touchdowns on the Thursday night. So shout out to Ken Folk Kirk. Bijan Robinson had 93 rushing yards, and he also threw in another 82 through the air with a rushing touchdown. Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts had the best game of his career. He's set to be a free agent this summer. And the Falcons have already been eliminated. So we're just trying to put some film on, some work on tape and, get that film out there. Kyle Pitts had 11 catches for 166 yards and 3 of 3 Kirk Cousins touchdowns. Baker Mayfield played well. He had 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, but a crucial interception in the fourth quarter. Bucky Irvin ran for 60 yards. And Mike Evans, welcome back. 6 catches, 132 yards, but no touchdowns through the air. Ibuka also added another 64 yards on 4 catches. But if we focus on Tampa Bay, they are on a bit of a snide, if you will. I told you guys earlier in the season, anyone that would listen to me, not necessarily a Baker Mayfield hater, but I did say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were fraudulent. Not trying to kick them while they are down, but they went to that bye week. They were 6-2, and now they're 1-5 after the bye. So that would suggest a little bit of flakiness there. Now they are they fell out of the playoffs at this point, but they have 2 of their last 3 games. I'm sorry, 2 of their last 3 are against Carolina for the division. They play Carolina next, and then they play Carolina to finish off the NFC South. If that game would actually mean something, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got to get it together over these next 3 weeks to win this division. It's a fight, and they had a very comfortable lead at one point in time in the season. Like I said, people were talking about them being Super Bowl contenders, if you will, and Baker Mayfield was in the MVP race at one point in time this season. And it's like we are a far way away from either of those things happening at this point in time. I don't think Baker Mayfield has a chance in hell of winning an MVP at this point. But let's talk about it, man. We know the Atlanta Falcons are eliminated. They picked His name escapes me right now. Quarterback out of Washington, Michael Penix. Lord, couldn't I think of his name? As a first rounder last year. But this is his third knee injury, if you include college and pro. And the Falcons do not have their first pick. They traded that pick away. So the Falcons don't know if they are about to hit QB purgatory. It seems like every team that Kirk Cousins go to has some type of QB wall. Kirk Cousins was with Washington, and I thought they went QB purgatory until they got Jaden Daniels. And we look like we're facing another QB purgatory with Kirk Cousins and often injured Michael Penix. And when Penix was in, I'm a fan of him, and he did not look that good this year, must admit. And again, he didn't get many starts last year either. He pretty much came into the season. I'm sorry, his rookie season, he came in around late November anyway. So he didn't get many games last year, and then this year he gets hurt. So I'm not writing Michael Penix off by any stretch of the imagination. He could definitely bounce back. Just saying, with those knee injuries, nothing to sneeze at. And if we flip to the other team, Tampa Bay, it looks like Baker Mayfield could potentially be your long-time answer there at quarterback. But is that the long-term answer that you're looking for? Should you guys go grab another quarterback? Maybe not day one. Maybe not a pressing need right away, but it could be a need further on down the line. And that's what's up. If you go ahead and grab another quarterback, maybe second day of the draft, round 2, round 3, something like that, to groom behind Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying it's Baker Mayfield's fault at all. I don't want that to be insinuated. It was just a great game by our hungry Atlanta Falcons team that is not playing for anything but to just play upset and spoil it to everybody. So, shout out to the Falcons for doing what they do. All right, y'all. Much has been spoken about this college playoff. These teams that's in this college playoff. So, let me say the 12 teams. You have Indiana as number 1. They beat Ohio State. Ohio State is number 2. Georgia's 3. Texas Tech is 4. They have a bye week. And then you go into the 5 play to 12, Oregon. 6 is Ole Miss. 7 is Texas A&M. 8 is Oklahoma. 9 is Alabama. 10 is Miami. I think that's where they should have stopped it. These next 2 teams I'm going to mention. Tulane versus Ole Miss, probably going to be over by halftime. James Madison versus Oregon, probably going to be over by the first quarter. This is not March Madness, people. We can't hope and pray for upsets and think that's going to happen like this was, the basketball tournament. For context, basketball team has about 12 players. Football team has about 90 in college. You have 11 on offense, and you have a completely different 11 on defense. So that's 22 players that you are hoping plays against the other 22. Let's put kickers and punters in there. There are people as well. Hoping you play against the other 24 a lot better with that 12. And just hope they just keep making mistakes. Come on now. It's football. It's not basketball. If, Carmelo Anthony didn't do his dynamic run with Syracuse, he also had some teammates there. Ken Ward did some work. And I forgot the little white point guard that they had, but he was getting some work done as well. But, you see somebody like a Kevin Durant, get upset in the tournament his rookie year. No matter what he could do, is one guy. and it's not the same thing as football. So if you hope to have a type of Florida Gulf Coast run with Tulane and James Madison, nah, it's not the sport for that, dog. This is not the sport for that. No, I say all that to say this. Notre Dame, you guys get the benefit of not having a conference. There are benefits that go into it. Y'all want that exclusive NBC rights, all of that good stuff. Not being in the conference. Now, when you don't play for a conference championship, and most of your other sports are in the ACC, and you don't join the ACC for football, this is what you get when the committee gets together and decides these 12 teams. You got a good chance of being left out because you didn't win a conference, or you're not in a conference to win. Put it that way. So, not saying that it's right, but you guys have yourself to blame. You can't reap all the rewards of not being in the conference and then complain about the setbacks of it. Notre Dame would have probably given a better fight than Tulane, and probably would have given a better fight than James Madison. But at this point in time, you guys gotta sit home, and you guys opted, and it was your right because players opt out all the time. It was your right to opt out of playing a bowl game at all, and you guys say, "Nah, we won't be good. We'll wait for the spring games." Jadarian Prince and Love, y'all go ahead, do what y'all got to do. NFL Combine, or maybe one of y'all coming back. Who knows? But this is what you guys get to when you chose not to join a conference. Now you learned your lesson. Hopefully y'all get ACC, get an SEC tournament, and this stops the kid. This, don't hurt the kids going forward after that. All right, let's talk about Sunday. Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots. Sunday, 1:00. These two teams have won that division for the last 20 years, 25. Let's just throw that out there. If Buffalo Bills wasn't winning, it was because New England Patriots was in their dynasty. When New England Patriots wasn't in their dynasty, it was set up for Buffalo Bills to take it over. They have won this. Those two teams have won this division more back and forth, if you will, than any other division in football. Like, it's not even a third team that could come close. The Bengals took it from the Ravens and Steelers once upon a time. You know how Chargers could possibly take it this year from KC. And before that, it was the Broncos with Peyton Manning. You know how they had their three. It's just two over there. And for the 1:00 window, they match up. This is definitely for the division. New England wins this game on Sunday at 1:00. Buffalo Bills are eliminated from the 1 seed. They are eliminated from winning their division. They will be on the road, whether that be at 4, 5, or 6, or potentially falling out. I'm sorry, whether that be 5, 6, or 7, or potentially falling out completely out of the playoffs, which I don't see. But this one is for the division. New England Patriots, their line and their run game have not been consistent, if you will. Buffalo Bills is known to have a very good rush, and they do not stop the run that well. So this is matched up perfectly for Buffalo to actually be dominant in this matchup. Drake May is one of those quarterbacks that's in the running for potential Offensive Player of the Year, potential MVP. See if they could take advantage of Buffalo's secondary. New England has beat Buffalo earlier this year, and Buffalo is trying to avoid the sweep because AFC East will be over at that point. So I do have Buffalo winning this game. I got them slowing down the Patriots, being able to get to Drake May, being able to confuse Drake May on the back end, and fight to stay in this division at least a couple more weeks. So I have Buffalo winning this game. All right, and then we get to the 4:00 games. You got Detroit Lions versus LA Rams. Famously, the Rams made the trade. They had Jared Goff. They sent him to Detroit. Detroit sent Matthew Stafford over to the Rams. And right now, it looks like Matthew Stafford has already got a ring. He's in line to potentially get another one. And he's also in that pole position to win the MVP this year. So on surface level, and so far what they've done already, looks like the Rams have won this trade. But Detroit has also been in the running with the NFC and winning their division. And they even made it to a conference championship game since they made that trade to get Jared Goff. Jared Goff has brought them stability. And there's no question on my mind who's a better quarterback or who's a better quarterback has been this year. That's definitely Stafford. But like I said, Jared Goff just gives them consistency, stability. And I think that is because the Rams were ready to win when they got Stafford. And Stafford is older, so Stafford will be out first, if you will, technically, as far as, retiring and all that good stuff. So you got a little bit more of a runaway with the Lions and Jared Goff. So I think that this trade has actually worked out better for both. This is a rare double win when it comes down to trades. Like I said, the Rams were ready to win. They already had Cooper Kupp. They had Odell. They had they got Odell. They had that defense, Andrew Whitworth on the line. Aaron Donald was already all pro, was ready to hang it up. He just wanted a ring. So the Rams were ready to win now, and that was Matthew Stafford. The Lions were playing the longer game, and they were able to hit on some draft picks: Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jomo, Frank Ragnow, the line, defensive line, the lean, Aiden Hutchinson. They were able to build up and keep building this team, and Jared Goff has provided some stability for the Lions. So like I said, it's a rare double win on the trade. But for this matchup, I'm going with the Rams. I said all that to say this. I'm going with the Rams in this matchup. The Lions, I do like them. I do think that they could potentially challenge for a wild card this season. But I got the Rams in this one, and they will be the number one seed for playoffs. And if I had to say who's going to the Super Bowl from the NFC, it's going to be the Rams. All right. Nightcap on Sunday is Dallas versus Minnesota. Don't have any high hopes for this game at all. But Dallas needs to go ahead and bounce back. They lost a close game last time they played, but they need just the bounce back they need. So what goes without saying, Minnesota Vikings, if they lose this game, they are eliminated from the playoffs. And I think this will be a loss for Minnesota. So they can go ahead and get ready. Not sure what I don't know if they, and this is the bad thing because it's been 2 years already. I don't know if they've seen enough from J.J. McCarthy to say that this is my quarterback and I'm not taking another one. I don't think they've seen enough to say yes or no on that. And that's the bad thing because J.J. McCarthy has been injured twice for a majority of both seasons when he was in line to be the starter. At least this year he was in line to be the starter, and he's always hurt. All right, so the rest of these Week 15 games goes as follows, and I'm going to skip around because I'm not mentioning teams two teams is already undefeated. Two teams is already eliminated. I ain't wasting my breath on them. So let's go through. Shall we? We shall. All right. So Shador is playing against the Chicago Bears. Yes, the Browns are eliminated, but Caleb and Shador is going to be must-see TV, but it's going to be the Bears. Chiefs is playing up against the Chargers. Chiefs have already been eliminated from winning the AFC West, and the Chargers can definitely win the AFC West. Well, no, they can't. Chargers are chasing the Broncos. I completely forgot about that. But I'm going with the Chiefs to get revenge on their Week 1 loss. I've already mentioned Buffalo. Denver versus Green Bay at 425 is going to be an interesting one. Both of these two teams are challenging for that number 1 seed in their respective conferences. If I had to pick a team, and that's the whole point of this exercise, I'm going with the Broncos. I think they'll be able to get to Jordan Love, make him uncomfortable, and keep this game close enough for Bo Nix to win it. I'm going with the Broncos on that one. Sunday, 425, we could potentially have Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to play for the Indianapolis Colts against Seattle. Don't know why. Both of these teams are not eliminated, but it just feels like the Colts are. So I'm going with Seattle on that one. And then Monday night, the Dolphins aren't eliminated. They are actually challenging for a wild card spot, and they are playing up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers win, but I'm not picking them. I'm going with Miami, just because I can't. And then Baltimore, city my city, Baltimore, going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, who embarrassed y'all on your field Thanksgiving night. Please fight back. Looks like Rashad Bateman is having an issue with his sprained ankle, so he may or may not play. Tavius Robinson may or may not play. He's practiced this week from his it was a shin issue or knee, something like that. And then Darius Washington could potentially be back from his Achilles issue when he tore his Achilles earlier in before training camp, off season. And he could be back. T. Higgins has been ruled out for that game. Like I said, Baltimore, don't embarrass me. I don't know what the hell is going on with my offense, what's going on with my defense, why we can't put no pressure on the quarterback, why we can't protect the quarterback. Well, I do know why you can't protect the quarterback. Number 77 is on the same team. Sorry to say it. But Baltimore know what they got to do to win this game. They continue to run the ball. Derrick Henry. Keaton Mitchell's playing. He doesn't have he's practicing. He doesn't have an injury designation for this game, thank God. So Keaton, Mitchell, Derrick Henry go off running the ball. Zay Flowers, man, step up. Mark Andrews, we just signed you to a big contract, bro. Step up. Speaking of contracts, Travis Jones, my guy, signed the 3-year extension. Something with the CBA, and we were able to get him for 3 years for the cheap. Like, he'd have definitely got more and could have demanded more on free agent, but he likes what's going on in Baltimore, so he decided to stay. So shout out to my man Travis. Travi, welcome to the flock for 3 more years, brother. But all I'm gonna say is y'all know what to do. Chase, Burr, these dudes is cold. Speaking of cold, this could potentially be the coldest game the Baltimore's ever played. with my Florida quarterback. But I digress. Y'all know what to do. Take care of the ball. That's rule number one. We cannot have 5 turnovers again. Take care of the ball. Like I said, run the ball on them. Keep Burr and Chase on the sidelines, bro. Keep them on the sidelines. That's the best way to have a goddamn pass rush. This dude's not even in the game. You ain't got to rush him. And then, again, get to that quarterback, protect ours. It's basically football 101. Y'all know what to do. And thank you for watching. Y'all know what to do. Follow the Substack, areyoubugin.substack.com. I appreciate you guys. Going to try to be giving y'all a lot more content during the Christmas season. I've already started my scouting. I'm going to start doing some scout breakdowns on here as well. But that's my show for this evening, man. Be blessed, be productive, be more. I love you. I'm out.